Hey there, YouTube fam, how are you doing? Today I'm very excited to just share how I actually managed to raise $6.57 to our whooping $500. Yes, you heard me right. That is correct. And this is actually going to be very important because I'm going to be sharing very critical information that maybe you have never had before, how you can actually do all these things in a very simple way. I'm very excited actually to share how I actually managed to do all this journey for you with you, and I know this is going to be very important and good insight for you. But make sure that you subscribe, like, and share. If you have any question, make sure that you leave it in the comment section. We are going to start right now. Now, tip number one. So the reason you can actually see actually didn't close in of this position that you can actually see on the screen is actually one reason, because there are so many people who are actually Thomas there. What I mean by Thomas is people who actually normally don't believe that you can actually raise $6.5 to either 500. I've been actually making a lot of videos on that. So many people maybe not believe. So I actually decided to keep the equity without closing the trades and to make sure that this account is actually raised to all this amount of money that you can actually see right here. Now, tip number one on how actually you can get started on this is very simple. Now, number one, you actually have to get this account out of May. So if you have $10, $20, you make sure at least you make this account out of mess, make some good amount of money, and you can actually manage these by actually make sure that the first trade that you're going to be entering, they are very accurate. And these, I mean that you can actually avoid something when, for example, there is a high impact news, because sometimes they can just confuse you and the market can be very volatile. The market can go on your way, but when the market actually just goes just like this and that, you can actually lose a lot of money without the market is being volatility, regardless of where you actually predicting the direction of the market is actually going to be going. So it is very important for you to be very cautious when you actually have that amount of money. And let me tell you the truth, to raise this amount of money from that small amount of money to at least something that you can actually turn is actually the hardest part. But if you actually can get out of that hole, then I think you can actually go ahead. And one of the things that people forget is that after raising this amount of money from small amount of money, on their way, you know, they have achieved, the account has grown, but they're not yet achieved the target. They forget by following the rules, and they actually end up now just trending anyhow, and you actually end up blowing all your account. So if you can manage to reach this amount of money to at least you flip it, then I think you are actually out of the banned zone. So the first thing that you can do is to make sure that you remove this account from the banned zone. So you make sure that you actually do that. So the next thing that I actually did, so what I did here is to make sure that I opened the position of how the USD. It took some time for it to create the amount of money that you can see here. So after that, then you can see my equity increased. So after equity increasing, then it actually means that I have more chance of opening more positions, and with the equity increasing, now I have my free margin. And with that, actually I ended now opening more position of the USD JPY, and that is actually where I now went to and got a very good sniper entry. This was actually a very good success. I shared this, you know, with some of my people who actually follow me on the group and the other platforms. I told them I'm going to be selling at this position, and I actually sold around that area, and you can see the minimum loss size I actually used is 0.01, and it actually made quite good amount of money over there. So that is what I actually did there. So I sold around 161.6.469, and the money actually just went all the way to around 156 there, and you can see that's quite good amount of money. So after that position opening there, then I proceeded now to open another position where I got a very good sniper entry as well from gold. So I actually sold gold at 24.6. remember, I actually, as the equity increases, I could open more position because the free margin was increasing and also the equity was increasing even without closing. You know, that actually gives you the room now to have more position, to open more position. So it's like so many people think that you need high leverage. The leverage that I've actually used here is actually 1 to 400, which means is you don't need a high leverage. All you just have to do is now to start raising your account from small account. As you raise raise your account, as you make more money, you can now start increasing the number of positions that you are opening, and you can actually make even good more amount of money. So the risk management was well, because you can lose some, and then you can see these are not going well, and then you close. And one thing is, so many people can make mistakes, is to don't make these mistakes of buying and selling one currency or currency that are correlated. For example, if I knew that I'm going to be buying the gold around this area, if this is a sell for the gold, then it is very wise for me now to do the same, to use we saw gold around this area, which means this was weakening, and the gold was actually going to sell around this area. But you can see the same thing that happened, because USD, JPY, and gold, the reason I'm selling the both of them, although they move so some of the time opposite, is the reason is because there is some policies that were priced on by the JPY. That's why you got a very JPY getting so strong around this area, and we got a sell that normally happened, that actually happened about that area, and the market moved or other. So sometimes, some of the time, don't confuse. For example, when you are buying, you buy GBP USD, and then you sell, you go and sell Euro USD. Some of these pairs actually move almost the same. So those are the mistakes that you can actually avoid. Make sure that you learn how the currencies are correlated, how pairs are correlated, to make sure that you don't make that mistakes. Some of these positions I actually opened like a long time ago, and that is one of the things that you actually have to observe right here, that you actually have to know. So this position has been running for a while, and the reason I actually decided to keep this way, as said earlier, is so that for the people who don't believe that you can actually raise account from small to the big. So this is actually different from people who actually normally show you opening a position of gold 0.1, 0.1 so at the same position, all of them. Now this is actually different, because the leverage here is 1 to 400 of because it and limited. So if I hand that $6, I could not open all these positions. Okay, first of all, the hand for me now to come and raise the equity first. After raising the equity, then it could allow me now to raise more amount of money. I've shared a lot of tips on how to raise this account from the small account to bigger account. So you actually have to follow a lot of things. It's quite very easy, but the reason I actually did this is to show you that everything is actually possible. So if you have your small account and you have good enough skills, you can actually make it. You can actually raise this amount of money to either this amount of money. And when you, for example, you raise it to 500, it's not a must that you keep the account running. You can actually close, you increase the balance, which is actually very wise, in case instead of holding the position for a very long time, so that you can actually be in a good position. So this is actually the wisest thing that you can do. It's very possible. You can start small and go to the big account. If you can actually do that, then it's very possible that you actually manage big account. Now there's so many mistakes that I send people can repeat, is that you can raise this amount of money to either $500, but when you reach $500, you forget with the rules that you started with, and now you start losing the focus, and then you can lose these $500. When I close these and be positive 500 profit. And but what so many people can do is that after that, the next position they open, they want to risk all the amount $500, and they end up losing. So it's like you've made all the effort all the way, but at the end of it, you are losing all the money, which is can actually give you stress. It's going to make you think that the forex is not legit. It's going to make you think that the forex is a scam. All those sort of things that are actually unnecessary, that are actually contributed by your own mistakes. So that's some of things that you actually have to avoid at all costs. Make sure that you actually stay safe when it comes to trading in the forex market. So thank you so much. If you have any question, let me know in the comment section. I just decided, let me just share these tips for you to encourage you, for those who are trending there, because it is very possible for that. I've shared quite a videos on how to raise a small account to the big account. You can still watch these videos there in the comments and the comment section, and also in the description. You can go and watch them and thank me later. I will see you the next one. Make sure that you share this to your friends to encourage them. And if you have any question, you can contact me on WhatsApp. I can add you to my team. If you are looking for the broker to use, you can check the description below. I use FXPesa while I come to forex trading. If you don't have skills as well, I have made a lot of videos concerning how to start in the forex market. You can get started and make good amount of money. Signing out. Bye bye.